Hey, what's going on? And thank you to anybody taking the time to watch this video today. I'm a passenger on a ride, and today I just wanted to take a few minutes to talk about living in the now. Just to kind of start that off, I wanted to address that, kind of what that means, for anybody that might not be familiar with that or might kind of be new to these newer, like spiritual concepts or might be new in their journey. And living in the now is kind of just, living in the present moment, not, getting so caught up and focused about the past and not being so caught up and focused in the future. And, that doesn't mean that, you can't ponder on either of those things or reflect on the past or plan for the future, but it really is essentially just kind of not letting yourself be emotionally tied to the future or the past and letting that take away from the moment that you're living in at that time. Um, you know, all of us have kind of experienced that at some point in time or another where we kind of just maybe we had like a really good phase of our life or a really bad phase of our life that we've looked past or that we've kind of gone past, and looking back on it, you have these residual emotions that kind of cause you to be stuck in that because you still haven't dealt with that if it was a negative thing and you might have experienced a lot of trauma during that time. Or, if it was an experience where you had a really positive time and you're struggling now, you might get lost in a tendency to just stay focused in that and wishing that you were in that time again and out of the time that you're in at that point. But either way, as far as those go for the past, as long as you're focused on the past, you're never going to be enjoying and appreciating everything about the moment now. And it's kind of the same thing on the other side, when you're constantly focused about the future, whether it be anxiety about the future and worrying about it, or only focused on trying to get somewhere, you kind of take away from enjoyment of that moment. And those two things being said, kind of making an example for both sides, I want to bring a point that kind of inspired me to make this video today and share these ideas with people. Is that, my buddy was kind of talking yesterday about the nature of living in the now and some epiphanies that he's had. And, you know, at that moment, I didn't really want to listen to him because, sometimes we get caught up in a little bit of our ego and think that we don't need to listen to somebody because we already know what they're talking about and they're just having the epiphany later. But I kept my mind open, and he kind of brought something that, I already kind of knew and recognized, but he brought a new perspective on it, and specifically regarding this, actually. And that is that if you don't live in the now, your past, if you're not living and appreciating the moment that you're living in now, eventually your past is going to become, this time that you're not going to appreciate that time in the past because you weren't appreciating it then. And, if you're not living in the now, you're not eventually going to have a better future either. But if you do choose to just try to appreciate every moment you have in that, and just kind of focus on being in the now, eventually your past is going to be good because you enjoyed those times. So looking back on the past for that, that will be a positive memory and a positive, kind of core experience for you. And, if you stay in the now, your future is eventually going to be good just because you're kind of staying within that state of positivity and goodness. And if you can remain in that state of being consciously aware of that, being positive, and just consciously living in the now, your future is always going to turn out all right because you don't need to be worried about it if you're consciously and just enjoying every moment. Your future is going to be good. To kind of finish up here, I guess that I want to get across some of the ways that I see being good paths to consciously live in the now. And, it is something that's a struggle at times, and you do have to become consciously aware of it if you are lost in the past or the future, and kind of try to transmute, as I've talked about before, and bring that energy into just enjoying the now. But I found that the more you have good, beautiful people around you, you've got good relationships with people, whether it be a partner, friends, family, whatever it may be, it's different for all of us. And if your life is constantly filled with joyous experiences, not to too far of an extent where all you're doing is just chasing and following things that are pleasurable, but if you're just doing things that bring you genuine joy and serotonin and are impactful experiences that you'll always be able to appreciate and remember as you get older, um, you're just kind of naturally going to enjoy that moment. And really to finish up, I guess I could just say, don't focus on the past. Don't focus on the future. Please just do your best to enjoy every moment you're having, because if you can enjoy every moment you're having, the past is going to be good and so will the future. And that's really all I've got to say today. I really appreciate you guys taking the time to watch this video. If you've enjoyed or this has been impactful for you in any way, please let me know in which way down in the comments. Like, subscribe, and share if you did enjoy as well. And, let your friends know if there's anybody that, you feel like this could impact. But that being said, I'm a passenger on a ride. I appreciate you guys taking the time to watch this video today. Have a great rest of your day.